Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr. Marty. Well, I'm here at Inside the Bungalow and getting ready to start my shift at DMA and go out and write some parking tickets. But I wanted to pick up on something I had talked about in another video about my working interview at Bright Horizons. And I had focused on kind of the teachers, my experience with the teachers and the overall atmosphere at Bright Horizons. But one of the things that I really wanted to focus on was I wanted to focus on the kids and my impressions of the children and how wonderful these babies are. So I go in there and I do this 8-hour working interview at Bright Horizons on Friday, which was just incredible, most incredible experience of my life. And these kids, these babies, there were 6 of them in the infant room that day. 6 babies and then 2 teachers, Miss Christine, and then I can't remember the other teacher's name. But these babies love being there. I mean, not only do the teachers love being teachers, they love teaching in the infant room in Bright Horizons, but the babies love being there. I mean, you would think, if you've never been to an infant room, you would almost think that 6, 7, 10 babies, there's going to be a lot of crying, a lot of babies, missing their moms and dads, and there certainly is some separation anxiety, when mom and dad, drop them off, whatnot, and that's all, kind of normal and expected. But really, there was only one little girl there, one little baby girl. I think she was about maybe 7 or 8 months old, and she was kind of crying a little bit, but that's because her mom was kind of coming in and out, feeding her, and I think there was a little bit of separation anxiety going on there. But then there was another little boy. He wasn't crying at all, but his dad was coming in and out. But he was okay. He wasn't crying. But all of the children, I mean, with the exception of the one little girl who was crying a little, not much, but just a little. All the other kids were just happy and giggly. They were happy. They were there. They loved being there. They were happy I was there, holding them and playing with them and interacting with them. I mean, they were all smiling, and it was wonderful. It was the most incredible experience of my life, and that's what I wanted to come on to say is that, not only do the teachers love doing what they do, and they love the babies. The teachers love the babies, but the babies love the teachers, and they love being there at Bright Horizons. And I can only speak to my experience. Maybe you've had a totally different experience at another daycare, maybe whatever. I mean, I don't know. I can only speak to my experience and what I experienced. And it was fantastic. I did not see, with the exception of the one little girl who was crying a little for her mom. Other than that, the kids were so happy and so into being in the infant room and being with their teachers that it was wonderful to be a part of. And it was even if it was just for 8 hours, it was a wonderful thing to experience. And I'm here to tell you that I believe that children are like little reflectors, little sponges, and if they're in a negative environment, then they're going to soak up that negativity and just kind of release that around, whether that's kind of in the home or in the daycare or wherever. But these kids, these babies, I was in the infant room, I was in the toddler ones and the toddler 2 rooms, and I was in some of the older rooms too, some of the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. But in the infant and toddler rooms, you just do not have a lot of unhappiness. I mean, you what you have is love, which I really want to speak to this because it's almost counterintuitive. So we live in this world of corporations, Walmart, Target, IBM, Microsoft, Nike. Corporations and corporate entities have come to define our lives. I mean, how often do you wear a corporate logo on, your car? Your car has a corporate logo. Your shirt. Well, my shirt doesn't, because DMA doesn't want corporate logos on my shirt. But I mean, there's a corporate logo on my shirt, or my shoes, Chuck Taylor shoes and Nikes and whatnot. So we live in this world of corporate identity, of corporations putting their kind of imprint on our culture, and we don't normally think of love, a loving environment, as something that goes with a corporation. But I'm here to tell you that I was in a Bright Horizons infant room for 8 hours, from 9 to 5:30 on Friday, July the 1st in Salt Lake City, Utah. And what I experienced and what I observed was love. The teachers love being at Bright Horizons. They love being infant teachers. The babies love being there at Bright Horizons. They love being there. And by the way, I haven't mentioned the director yet, but I wanted to throw this in. So Allison, I'm not leaving you out. I'm trying to do all these videos, and I'm so excited, and I want to talk about my experience in Bright Horizons. But Allison is the director there, and she is just an amazing director, and she loves what she's doing. I mean, that comes across in conversations when I've watched her interact with her staff there, with the teachers and with the kids. She loves it. And she's a director, and she loves to come into the infant and toddler rooms and help out and hold the babies and do whatever she needs to do, change a diaper or feed a bottle or something, and she's right there to do that. She's hands-on, and she loves what she does. So this sounds counterintuitive. This sounds like something you would not find in a corporation, in a daycare, owned by a corporation. But in fact, what you find at Bright Horizons is love. You find a director who loves what she's doing. You find teachers who love what they're doing. You find babies. The babies love being there, and they love it. They, what Bright Horizons has created, what they've built in these infant rooms by staffing them the way they do, staffing them with who, is on their staff, and their training and their policies and procedures, which is all designed to enrich the children, enrich the experience, provide safety and security, and a healthy learning environment in which the babies can thrive and grow, and and there's that connection there with the moms and dads, because the moms and dads are coming in and out of the infant room. And I get the feeling, I didn't get a chance to really speak with the moms and dads, but I got the feeling that the moms and dads love it too. And in fact, let's speak to that for a moment. These moms and dads could be placing their children anywhere. I mean, there's no shortage of daycare offerings, ranging from, the lady down the street that just hung out a sign outside her house to, grandma who has spare time, or the neighbor, or, a small center, a mid-sized center, a large corporate center, whatever. There's a lot of choices out there with daycare, but these parents have decided that they love Bright Horizons. They've decided to put their children in there. And so I was really, again, I didn't get a chance to speak with the parents, but I was really kind of picking up on the fact that they're very happy that they're in love with Bright Horizons too. So I just wanted to come on here and tell you that the babies are awesome also, and that there's nothing like being in an infant room with 6, 7, 10 babies, however many, there's nothing like that. And especially if you're in an infant room with another teacher who loves the babies and is proactive and is really there to meet their needs. And that's the most wonderful thing in the world. And I just want to close by saying, boy, there's a lot of wrong things in the world. There's a lot of people doing things the wrong way or whatever. But what they're doing up there in Utah and Salt Lake City at Bright Horizons, I observed it. I was there. I was there for 8 hours on a Friday 3 weeks ago, and I'm here to tell you that they're doing this right. They're doing this right, and that the kids are the proof. The children are the proof. You walk in there, and those babies love being there, and they love you, and they love their teachers, and that's amazing. That's amazing. You know, and I got a chance to experience that, and I want more. I want to be an infant teacher full time. So until then, I have to actually go out and write some parking tickets. I'm looking at my watch now. I gotta get going and get my stuff together and get my stuff all together. Here's my little ID badge. I gotta wear for my job to go out and write parking tickets. But I just wanted to come on here and tell you that I can't stop talking about Bright Horizons or my impressions or my views, and I'm just going to use this technology and use these tools to come on here and talk about the great things that are happening in our world, in our community, and basically, you know, call people out who are doing the right thing. Allison, Miss Allison, Miss Christine, the whole staff at Bright Horizons, not just there in Utah, the ones I met here in Mesa when I went down to check out a Bright Horizons in Mesa. You guys are doing it right. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and I love you guys. I think you guys have just created the most incredible daycare experience that is out there. So, anyways, just another episode for Mr. Marty. Starting my day off. It's Monday, July 25th. And hope you have an awesome day, because there are great things that are happening out there. Great things. And a lot of them are taking place in infant rooms, not just Bright Horizons, but other infant rooms all across this country. So go out there and have an awesome day, because I know I will. Thank you.